Look at this. Before last year, attacks by terrorists who identify with extremist groups, including ISIS and Al-Qaeda, were largely confined to the countries that you see on the map. But since then, after 2014, today we've added all these countries to the list, and they include the United States, France, Denmark, and Australia. With some insight into all of this, we're going to go to Michael Morell, the former deputy director of the CIA, and our correspondent Holly Williams, who's one of the most experienced reporters on ISIS, working in both Iraq and in Syria. Michael, let me start with you. With all of the airstrikes that the United States and its coalition partners have been launching since August, are we winning?
I'm absolutely convinced that if it weren't for the airstrikes, they would have taken Baghdad. But we haven't rolled them back. We haven't taken any territory back. They've actually consolidated some of their territory, and we haven't done anything against them in Syria. And on top of that, we've seen the spread of their brand across a very wide number of countries.
Holly, what role has the internet played in recruiting people, particularly from the West, to go to Iraq and Syria?
Yeah, I think it's been transformative. Let's remember that just a few years ago, radicalization was one extremist preacher sitting in a mosque with 10 or 20 men. Now it's thousands of people, tens of thousands of people reaching out to each other online, finding out about how to go to Syria, how to go to Iraq, and how to carry out terrorist attacks.
One of the things the president talked about today is reaching out to Islamic youth around the world and try to prevent them from being radicalized. Whose job is that, Mike Morell?
The United States can't take this on its own. The United States doesn't have a lot of credibility in talking about what's right in Islam and what's not right in Islam. It really has to be the leaders of Muslim countries. It has to be leading clerics. It has to be local clerics and what they say on Fridays in mosques. That's where this leadership, that's where this messaging has to come from.
So where are they? How many people have to be beheaded before mainstream Islamic clerics are outraged and speaking about this?
So we're starting to see Arab leaders come out and in my view, start saying the right thing, Scott. King Abdullah in Jordan, President Sisi in Egypt, we're beginning to see them say the right things. I think we need to see a lot more Arab leaders speak out.
Holly, you've spent a great deal of time reporting from the border of Turkey and Syria, where a lot of these Western foreign fighters are coming in to join ISIS. What is Turkey up against?
Turkey says that it's really reliant on intelligence coming from other countries here in the Middle East and other countries in Europe, saying this person is of concern, don't allow them to go into Turkey, because if you do, they might cross over into Syria, into the war zone. And we understand from the Turkish authorities that they now have a list of 10,000 names of people who they will not allow into the country based on that kind of intelligence.
Scott, can I just add and say that there has been no slowing of the flow of foreign fighters into Syria and Iraq. We're up to 20,000 now from 90 countries.
Michael Morell, former #2 at the CIA. Holly Williams, our correspondent covering ISIS from Syria and Iraq, reporting tonight from Istanbul. Thank you both very much.